Hello, welcome to Defiance Illusion. We are going to have what we call a town hall meeting today. And it's also a good chance for you guys to pipe in and give your thoughts about some issues that I will be talking about. So, let's get right into it. Donald Trump, president or not, his legal team have dug in. There are a lot of scams and frauds being proven in Michigan, in certain areas, well, in most areas, also in Georgia and Arizona. There are a lot of frauds being proven in Nevada. But what does this mean? You have Joe Biden already saying that he's won. I mean, where do we go from here as a nation? You have commentators wishing all Trump supporters dead and telling people to hurt them, which is insane. I can't believe they're still hired by these news centers and that these news centers are not being held liable. I mean, I don't care who you vote for. That's not my business. And I don't wish bad on the other people. Um, but there was a couple of, well, not a couple, a few um, commentators for like CNN, MSNBC, different. And I want to say even one from Fox, but I'm not totally sure about that one. NBC. I mean, there's people reporting in on Facebook about all this, and they're showing where this woman, she said everybody who supported Donald Trump. Well, I'm not going to repeat what she said because it's extremely violent. There's no call for it. By the way, on Facebook, everybody needs to go on there and get rid of your messenger. They just made an announcement that I saw today that I was reading, and they said that if you give them permission, if you use Messenger, you've already given them permission to get into your phone, computer, um, look at everything that you look at. They know your bank account number, they know your address, they know everything about you. I thought personally that was highly illegal, but evidently Facebook is above the law because there's not been really a judge do really anything to this guy. Cost him a few bucks here and there. Ooh, smack my bottom. No. I mean, seriously, this guy's got billions and billions and billions of dollars. They need to bankroll that clown. I mean, they really do. They need to bankroll him. I would take everything he owns times 10, and I would fill Fort Knox back up. Because of what he is doing, he is very aware, and he has been told time and time and time and time again. And they keep on popping him and busting him and popping him and busting him. And the thing he's not realized, well, he realized it because he's a very smart individual. He's giving your personal information, my personal information to all these people who want to do us harm, and from all these other countries that hate America. Okay. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but I mean, if you've ever gotten on Facebook and had to get help for anything, you're hard pressed certain times of day to get somebody who speaks English to type back to you. It's pretty unnerving. And these people have access to all your medical data, your I mean anything that you put on your phone, computer, anything that you stream, anything you've downloaded, anything you've looked at, anything you own. This guy knows it. They did make a major announcement today. I don't know how true it is. I'm trying to run it through some sources and find out. George Soros has been arrested, and they said it was in Switzerland. They have apprehended the Nazi, and he has been arrested. And from what I understand, the United States has already put in for his extradition immediately to America, where he will be tried as a war criminal. I mean, I don't know how this Nazi guy that was actually with Adolf Hitler got, even as a Nazi youth, got through this far and caused all this commotion in America. I don't know how I don't know how he of all people did not get like waylaid with the rest of them, but okay, whatever. On to other news. I got rid of my Messenger today. I wiped it clean. And I'm talking, just off my phone and off of my computer. And I wiped my computer and everything, that guy's got no business knowing any of my, and the problem is he's already got it. There was a lot of people starting to talk about a class action lawsuit against him and trying to mount the biggest one in history to absolutely just tear this guy's world apart because somehow he does all these illegal things and he just walks out of court laughing. Okay. He laughs. He laughs, Now back to the Trump thing. I don't know how many people are pro-Trump, anti-Trump. I've heard 70% of the country is pro-Trump. That's a lot of people for people to be making threats. I just hope that nobody tries anything and everybody needs to hold their head and don't listen to these crazy people from these news centers like, well, I won't in the news. I started to, but I won't. Because these people are extremely racist against white people and racist against Christians. And it's not very good. Okay. I mean, the ball bounces both ways. I don't wish bad on you if you're of any other nationality. And I don't expect you to come into my country or be in my country or be my countryman and wish me any kind of harm because of my nationality or my beliefs or your beliefs. That's stupid. That's the epitome of stupidity. You cannot act like you are a person that cares and loves and is just doing their job while you're sitting there screaming, do this and do that and do this and do that, and I hope and I wish and, they all, and, that's extreme hatred. And I'm hoping that Defiance Illusion will be one of the leading broadcast arenas in the world in the next year that will rein that sort of action in. We will step in the forefront and call them people out. When my partners and me finally get to speak, we are going to speak about this very subject. because there's no call for harm of somebody because you're angry because of the way somebody voted. And you're angry because somebody won't concede when they've not lost yet, according to the legal teams now. Okay, this is according to the legal teams. And he may not concede anyway. In his position, if I were him, I don't know that I would concede. He made a lot of promises that he either couldn't uphold or that he didn't uphold. And what we need to figure out is which one it is, and do we back it or not? Now, the self-defense measure, yes, we are Americans. We are supposed to be allowed to defend our homes and our loved ones and all that, hopefully by calling the police department. I don't condone violence on any level, neither does Defiance Illusion. Let me say that first and foremost. We condemn all violence and all violent acts, and any mention of trying to hurt someone is just, that upsets us here at Defiance Illusion. We think everybody can meet on middle ground here, because we do. We may all have different opinions, but we all come together in the middle and find a middle ground that we can all stand on. I don't like what I'm seeing going on in my country already. And for Joe Biden to say he's everybody's president, there's 70 million people in this country, Joe, that would tell you where to go. I hate to be the one to break the news to you, but I'm just being honest. We're honest here. And, you're not my president. And your vice president ain't my vice president. She would never be my president. It has nothing to do with her gender or her color or anything to do with any of that. It has to do with her stances and your stances. You're fly by the wind. That means that whichever way the wind blows, you're with it because it's popular. You're a professional politician. You're not a real person. Okay. Just like these people who are sitting in front of our TV screens telling us that they want to hurt us, or they want to hurt you, or they want to do this, or they want to do that. That's because they don't understand there's a right and there's a wrong, because they've never had to work for a living. See, somebody who wasn't given a silver spoon and had to work for a living, that's not on one of these news broadcasts, they might sit back and think the world is just hunky-dory, nothing's wrong with it. Why do you want to mess it up by voting in somebody that they don't like? Well, because they're realists. You're not. You live in fantasy land to them. And these people pay your payroll. I mean, if everybody boycotted the news centers tomorrow, if 70 million people did that and blacked out or whited out, however you want to put it, if we all got together and we did that, 70 million of us turned them off. I keep on going back to the same guy because he's so racist, I cannot stand it. And he hates white people. I mean, he despises white people, and he's made it known. But anyway, if we stood together and we turned on these news centers and just turned them off, and that's what I mean by turn on them, just turn them off. Don't listen to them no more. Don't support their products. Totally shut them out. Those clowns they got up there that's making all these threats would be gone tomorrow. They would be fired. Okay, they would be put back in the public sector, where they would have to go to work at a factory, or they would have to go to work at a farm, or they would have to go to work at being a carpenter. And then when they start actually getting blisters on their hands from hammering nails all day, or from slinging steel or wood or whatever the case may be, they might be a little more humble and grateful for the privileges that we have in this great nation of ours. Okay. Now I went the long way around to just say our nation is the greatest, and I stand behind that. You want to hate me for it, hate me for it. I don't care. That's my personal opinion. That our nation is the greatest nation, and God has been very good to the American people, and I will stand behind that. I hope the rumors are true that George Soros has been arrested because of all the foul things he has done to the American people over the past 8 or 9 years. And nobody until Donald Trump had the guts to take the guy on, including Joe Biden. Mr. He'll cure cancer if they make him president. Well, now he's got his shot if things don't work out for Trump. We're going to see if Biden can cure cancer. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to find out if Biden can cure cancer. They posted a post on Poll King as well today, and I follow Poll King extraordinarily close because it's a real poll. It's not that fictitious crap that you see on MSNBC or CNN. You know, it's not been tampered with by the science gurus and the liars and all that kind of cocky manka, cockamoo people, the liars, just the people you can't stand to even walk in the same room with. I mean, these are the people that's running those news centers, unfortunately, right now. And that needs to change. But on Poll King, they said, would Donald Trump pardon himself? Really? I don't even think that's legal. I think Joe Biden has to pardon him because he's the incoming president. Now, if Joe Biden doesn't pardon him, it's going to be very interesting considering that Clinton pardoned Reagan, or I'm sorry, Bush pardoned Reagan, Clinton pardoned Bush, Bush pardoned Clinton, Obama pardoned Bush. I don't know what they did with Obama. If any of them needed a pardon, it was him. And trust me, I actually supported him for a long time until he said what he said at the United Nations, and then I was off. When you say Americans are too stupid to deal with their own well-being and to have sovereignty, you're not my president. So at that point, that's where me and him cut ties, and then I started realizing what all he was doing, and wow, it was pretty bad. But it took a slap like that in the face to wake me up, and sometimes it takes a slap like that to wake you up. Now, Donald Trump, he was the exact opposite. He's pro-American, which I love. 70 million Americans love it. That's over half the country. Right now they're sorting through a lot of illegal ballots that were cast, such as dead people and illegals that actually showed up to vote for Biden that had no right to. They don't live here legally. And by the way, if you have a work visa, okay, if you have a work visa and you are here on just a work visa, you are not allowed to vote. I just recently was told that. I never knew that. So now they're having to throw a lot of ballots away. And it looks like the tide may be shifting back in Trump's favor. Those two alone, the dead vote and the illegal vote alone. I mean, now all the ballots that weren't signed or whatever, of course they have to throw those away too, because a legal document's not a legal document without a signature. Everybody knows that. Everybody agrees with that. We're all adults. If you go to buy a car, you don't just walk out there on a car lot and say, I want that car, and just drive off with it. They hand you the keys, because then you wouldn't have to pay no money for it. It's all free. It's Bernie Sandersville. It's all free. Beetlejuice. Anyway, yeah. There you go, Styles. Yeah, man. Bernie Sandersville. Let's talk about that for a quick second. Talk about fantasy land. Pie in the sky. Wow. That dude's never worked a real job in his life, and I don't have no respect for that monkey whatsoever. If you ain't never worked a day in your life, and I don't care what kind of job it is, as long as that ain't a politician, professional politician. That guy, he come out of nowhere and just, I don't know what age he became a politician, but it was young, and he's never worked a real job in his life. And everything he's gotten has been free. That's why he throws this free thing up in everybody's face all the time. He thinks it's all free. No, Bernie, somebody at the end of the rope has to pay for the free. And I don't think that the rich would appreciate that too much. And, somewhere along the line, Mitt Romney, he forgot that, and he's the biggest jackass in Washington is Mitt Romney. Him and that John Kerry are the two biggest jackasses. And if people call me unbalanced and unfair, I just picked on a red and a blue and a neutral. What's not balanced and not fair about that? I mean, come on. Mitt Romney, you costed over 9 million jobs in this country. You gave it to the Chinese. You turned on America. You're not American. You're a traitor. Sorry. That's just the way I feel.